Alright everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video because I woke up this morning and yeah, apparently overnight Sony announced the PlayStation Classic. Yes, this is a real thing. Basically it's Sony's version of the NES Classic or the SNES Classic. The thing with this one, though, is it's going to come with two controllers. Now, if you noticed, this is the old school version of the PlayStation controller, pre-analog sticks versions. So, I'm not too familiar with the older games for the PlayStation. A lot of the games that I remember from the PlayStation were with using analog sticks. Now, there's going to be 20 games total. It's going to come out on December 3rd. And as of right now, as of this video, if you do want to pre-order, I don't know if GameStop is doing pre-orders, but you can pre-order through Best Buy. But given what other companies looked at how Nintendo handled when the NES Classic first came out, I'm going to assume that Sony is going to have a better supply chain when it comes to the PlayStation Classic, unless they're like, well, yeah, we'll do the same as how Nintendo did, just bump up demand for it. But anyway, it's going to be $99.99, $100, 20 games, 2 controllers. It's going to be HDMI. So this is clearly their version of... Seriously? Anyway. Yeah, this is what I get for updating the graphics drivers. Anyway, so it's going to be 2 controllers, a USB cable for power. So it doesn't look like they're including a power brick, unless this is just something that is more common outside the U.S. But at least as of right now, there's no wall adapter. So you have to. So it seems like you're going to have to supply your own. And in a manual. Let's see. Like I said before, there's going to be 20 games. 5 of them has been already announced. Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 3, Ridge Racer Type 4, and where were the other? Oh yeah. Jumpin' Flash and Wild Arms. I don't want to play the video for, I might get a copyright flag for playing their trailer, but yeah, basically it's their version of the NES Classic. So actually, you know what? Let's do this. So one thing that I noticed let me see if I can find it real quick. So they're going to be USB controllers for those PlayStation controllers. They're using USB controllers or USB connectors. So I'm wondering. I'm going to assume that it is possible to just connect it to your PC and use those. That would be kind of cool. And let's see, where's the back? And here's the back. Now, one thing I'm actually kind of interested in. Obviously, you got your HDMI, and yeah, it's going to be a micro USB. I kind of wish it was a USB-C. I'm not a big fan of micro USBs, but At least with the Xbox and PlayStation controllers, they've been using that. Um, One thing though is, I wonder if there's going to be something behind this flap here. How cool! Here's something that Sony is. What if this flat back here are little cartridges that has the 20 games on it, but Sony would eventually come out with other packs for the PlayStation Classic. So if it is possible, now this could just be just part of the shell just for looks, but it would be kind of cool if Sony did come out with little cartridges that you can just plop in there and just have like another pack of 20 games for, just charge, like $20 for it, $1 a game. And this can be another way of people getting into the PlayStation brand. But maybe I'm probably overthinking this. It would be kind of cool though. But yeah, HDMI, micro USB. It's going to be, what do they say? 45% smaller than the original. I do have an original PlayStation sit in the box. So I did pre-order this. So when I do get it on December 3rd, what day is December 3rd on? That's on the Monday. Okay. So, whenever I get off of work and pick that up, I'll do an unboxing and I'll also compare, the size differences between the two. But, yeah, this is actually kind of cool. I do kind of wish they used the analog stick version, the DualShock controllers. But I understand if they're just trying to cut cost, and that's why they're just doing this, because obviously making these kinds of controllers are actually pretty cheap to make. The ones with analog sticks, that's going to be a little more expensive to make, so I understand why they went with these controllers. Plus, it is the classic, and I guess Sony also wants to let people know that, hey, these how the original PlayStation controllers used to be. Which, honestly, if you don't know the history of how the PlayStation was created, back in the day, Sony and Nintendo kind of worked together. In fact, the Super Nintendo actually has a sound chip made by Sony. And that's why a lot of the games for the Super NES always had a distinctive sound to it, because that was designed by Sony. And later on, they would try to collaborate and make the Super Nintendo PlayStation add-on. PlayStation was actually 2 words, and it was actually going to be a CD add-on for the Super Nintendo. But of course, there was a falling out with it, didn't work out, and then Sony decided to just make their own system, and what they learned from Nintendo, they applied it to the PlayStation. So that's why the original PlayStation controllers were really just an evolution of the Super Nintendo controller. The only real differences, of course, is you have an extra set of trigger buttons and actual handles on them. But apart from that, they're pretty much identical from one another. Of course, the D-pad's a little separated, but that's more of a trademark issue than anything else. The D-pad, the PlayStation D-pad, was just their way of getting around the patents that Nintendo had on the D-pad. Yes, Nintendo actually had a patent on the D-pad, so that classic D-pad that Nintendo used for years and years. That was their patent. But yeah, I have one pre-ordered, and I'll get it when it comes out. And it's going to be $100. So yeah, I'll end it here. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Leave those comments down below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you do subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified. And like always, have a good one, and I need to get to work.